Hi, today we're going to show you an updated feature in DaVinci Resolve 20, Keyframes. Previously, to ease animation, you'd click on the icon directly on a clip in the timeline or in the Fusion page. But in the latest update, that button has been removed from timeline clips. Instead, new keyframe tabs have been introduced. Let's show you how it works with an example. Let's say we want to animate this logo. We do it the same way as before. First we zoom in, then zoom out, clicking the diamond icon to mark the keyframes. Now the logo is animated. When you click this button, it opens the keyframe panel at the bottom. The keyframes are aligned with the timeline, so this panel makes it easier to move them while knowing exactly where the clip starts and ends. You can stretch and shorten the animation. Simple and intuitive. Let's add a blur to this animation so the logo zooms out more naturally. New keyframes appear for the zoom. Let's take a look how it works. Okay, now the animation could use a bit of smoothing. That's where the new keyframe tab comes in. It may look a little overwhelming at first, but don't worry. Clicking this icon opens the graph of your keyframes, but in our case it looks empty. That's because you need to select which keyframes you want to see in the graph. So go back to the list and click this icon to choose the elements you want to display. Now we see the keyframes. In this case, the zoom X and Y overlap, so you see just one line, but that's not a problem. On the lower bar, you can see where the keyframes are. By left-clicking and dragging the mouse, you can select all the keyframes. Then choose the type of smoothing you want and click this icon. That looks much better. Let's see how the animation has changed. Now let's smooth the blur as well. Go back to the list. We don't see the blur listed. To display it, click the three dots next to the parameters, go to Display Selected Parameters and select all blur options. Now the blur keyframes are visible. Click this icon next to the Category tab to select the whole group. This shows all the graph lines, which we don't need, so go back to the list and select just the blur amount. Again, we select all the keyframes and smooth the blur animation. It would be nice if the logo had a slight bounce back at the end. To do this, go back to the zoom keyframes, select all of them and start experimenting. This configuration gives us the bounce effect we want. Now you need to adjust the blur to match the new animation. It's currently visible for too long. Ideally, the blur should only be strong at the start and quickly fade to almost zero. But something still feels off. The animation is a bit too long. By going back to the bottom keyframe panel, we can quickly shorten the whole animation. This will affect the graphs, so you'll need to adjust those again. Let's see how it looks now. That's exactly what we were going for. To help you better understand this panel, let's look at a few more functions. For example, clicking this icon changes the cursor so you can add new keyframes. The second icon helps you navigate around the panel. And with the regular cursor, you can drag keyframes to reposition them. And if the panel feels too small, click this icon to open the keyframe tab in full screen. Here you can see both the list and the graphs, which makes editing even easier. To return to the previous view, just press Escape. And that's it. We hope these keyframe tips from the latest update come in handy, and that animating transitions or motion graphics in DaVinci Resolve became easier for you. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more DaVinci Resolve tips and tricks. Thank you for watching.